Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. Now on this video I'm going to show you guys a recap on the trade that I taken this morning on the dollar Swiss. And before I jump into that, I just wanted to go over this short model with you guys. Also applies to buy, you just flip it around. I'll upload that to social media soon as well. But if you haven't already guys, make sure you go ahead and check out my Instagram, just because I post a lot of content on there and a lot of valuable insights in terms of the markets. As you can see here, this is a very repeatable setup you'll often see, and I'm going to show you guys a nice little trade that I've taken here in dollar Swiss, which played pretty much exactly to the T like this post here. And obviously if you follow me on Instagram and you checked out that post last night, you would have looked for this and maybe you could have caught a trade. So without further ado guys, let's jump into it. So as you can see here, pretty much what we're looking for is a consolidation period in the market. Now this can come in many forms. It can be either on the M15, it's Asia range, or it could be on the M1, whatever, right? Ideally this is what, the consolidation period. And obviously we get a nice expansion to the upside, obviously, moving bullish, high highs, high lows, etc, etc. And a lot of people are going to be, obviously buying, pretend that we're in a bullish move. So therefore, going to be induced into buys. And then obviously people are going to have their stop losses around here, whatever. So ideally what we're looking to do is obviously once we see that liquidity sweep on a high time frame, or even just a high time frame POI mitigation, which is what I've taken this morning. Or if if you get the best of both worlds, the liquidity sweep and the POI mitigation, then that's great probability of the trade playing out. Obviously once you get that to obviously happen, we time it well with London session or New York session around the opening first couple of hours of those sessions. Those are the best times to be trading. Obviously we get that nice play here, so we take out the liquidity, tap into potential POI, and then we shift to the downside, pull back. Then obviously enter the engulfing, stops at the highs there and targeting back down into this consolidation. So essentially we get a consolidation period, price moves, and then back down into the consolidation period. Okay, so that's exactly what dollar Swiss had played out this morning. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that exactly. So I had this 50-minute POI. Obviously, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to trade back into these lows or whatever, just because on the higher time frame it's just consolidating. There's not really much going on, especially on the daily. So it's important to, when you're trading inside of high time frame consolidative markets, try and have pragmatic TP placement, because a lot of people, they'll have they'll try and target lows or highs and wonder why it doesn't get taken, when if you're just focused on obviously the edges of the range, so to speak, it's probably better to just trade that way, obviously inside of a consolidating market. So anyways, this is the trade that I'd taken, tapped into that POI there. Obviously had this huge move here, previously bearish. You can also look at this as a range as well. So for example, if I just scroll out to the left here, we got this nice consolidation period here, and then obviously we took out those lows, obviously manipulation to the downside, and then inducing people into selling potentially, so there'll obviously be some sellers there. Then we get the shift to the upside, taking that structure, and then a pull back, engulfing, and obviously that would have been a nice buy entry, but obviously that was around 6:30, so a lot of you probably aren't trading around those times, which is fine because we caught a later trade that day. That's a potential opportunity there that you could have taken. And obviously guys, what I would recommend you go ahead and do is just go and study these charts. And then obviously from there, price moved bullish again, started to consolidate again, and obviously had this range here yet again, which is obviously what we're focusing on for this today's trade. I just go ahead and remove all those lines like that. And then obviously we get this range here, price moves to the upside, introducing some buyers potentially on the way. And then we get tap into this POI here, high time from supply. Then we get a nice shift to the downside, obviously see this momentum kicking in. It's around 8 o'clock as well, so ties in very nicely with the London Open there. Chuck to the downside, pull back into this zone, didn't take an entry there, and then we just confirmed that bearish move with the break to the downside here. And then we pull back up into this wick. Get a nice engulfing candle there, which is what we entered from. If you're wondering why I entered here and why there or whatever, I would recommend that you go ahead and check out my candle confirmation entry on the previous video on my YouTube. A lot of value in there, so I definitely recommend you check that out. That's one of the entry criteria I follow when it comes to just executing trades. This is very important. Obviously it can increase your win rate as well, helps invalidate certain POIs if you don't get a certain reaction. Excuse me. And then obviously we stopped up at the highs here very nicely, not too tight. Obviously if you type it quite tight, you know, even above this high, it's a 7.2 or a 5.6, but my stops there were fine for a nice 4-hour trade there. And then just targeting down into this consolidation area, which is also aligned in with this demand chain here. So obviously we've got this zone here, mitigation, got this mitigation, obviously potential mitigation, which it, you know, did go on to mitigate. If you're following with structure, obviously, you know, you probably look to close out above these highs somewhere around here. But obviously, you know, just understanding that when price ranges, it'll make a move, you know, like an imbalance push, and then obviously it must rebalance itself and come back down into the consolidation zone, which is what it did. But I just target into the lows. That's pretty much it really, guys. There's a very beautiful trade, nice 4.09R, obviously with commissions and things like that applied, slightly less, but there we go. Brilliant trade. I would recommend, guys, go ahead and study this, go into your charts, look up for the 29th of April, Monday 2024, look for 8 o'clock UK time, and just go ahead and study this. I'll obviously refer back to my Instagram post. But yeah, with that being said, guys, hope you enjoyed this quick short video, and catch you on the next one.